Excellence. Is it measured in likes, bottom lines, or the impact we make around us? The things we build, the students we inspire, the care we give.
Baby girl.
At CQ University, we recognise all kinds of excellence. We combine contemporary courses with more choices and real support to empower you to create the success that means more to you. Be with CQU.
I'm Jarrell Yayi, a proud Aboriginal man and former Origin great 172. FOGS was established in 1997 by Dick Tosser-Turner and Alan Graham to honour the legacy and contributions of Queensland State of Origin players. FOGS isn't just about celebrating past glories, it's dedicated to making a difference in the community. From supporting grassroots and elite rugby league to fundraising charities that are near and dear to our members' hearts. Through the connections of our Queensland Maroons, we hope to shape a brighter future for all.
Welcome to Durumble Country, where tradition, talent and community collide. At the heart of it all, rugby league, a game that unites city and bush, past and future. This is the CQ University Confraternity Carnival. Here we play with heart, faith and the spirit of confraternity. Proudly hosted by the Cathedral College, where the spirit is alive.
You might not see them at first, but they're there. Threads. It is the connection we feel when wearing the blue and gold. We're more than just borders. We're brothers, bound by the values of presence, simplicity, family spirit, and love of work. These are the threads that connect us, past, present, and future. And when our time here ends, those threads don't break. They travel with us in the choices we make, the friendships we keep, and the faith we carry forward. We're stitched into something greater, because at Marist College, Ashgrove, every thread matters.
Well, St Brendan's now receiving Marist College. Thirteen. Bring us up, mate. Yeah. So we've got a play down here for Marist Ashgrove. Michael Crutcher joins us back up here for, well, it's been a wonderful game. St. Lawrence is dominating the previous game as well, Michael. But this one here, interesting result between these two sides so far today.
In Marist Ashgrove with a win earlier today in their first game of rugby league this year after coming off a school rugby union season. They defeated Aquinas College this morning. And then on field 4, we had St. Brendan's College and Ignatius Park College, two of the heavyweights of Confraternity Carnival, with a 0-0 draw this morning. So we've got a really important game for Brendan's here this afternoon, coming into this after the clash with Iggy Park this morning. And these are the games, John, when the crowds start to build up. We've got, virtually a local team here in St. Brendan's Yeppoon. Plenty of parents from Marist Ashgrove have travelled here to watch this carnival, so this should be a really interesting game. Teams coached by players or people with a lot of history in Confro and in rugby league. The penalty to Brendan's here. So Scott Minto, of course, coaches St. Brendan's. He coached them to the Shield win 2 years ago. And for Marist Ashgrove, it's Dallas Williams, the former veteran Queensland Cup player, now a Devils assistant coach, coaching Marist Ashgrove. So some teams with a lot of history in terms of Confro, more so for Brendan's, but should be a very good game. And Brendan's looking for their first points. That 0-0 draw this morning was a cracker of a match. It was a soccer scoreline. It had plenty of tension in it.
Well, I was wondering then, with that penalty there to St. Brendan's, any closer would they have taken the two?
Yeah, well, this morning the opportunities didn't present, and they looked for field goals late in the day. It was certainly the message. It didn't get to kick any, as we see Brendan's go towards the right here. But Ashgrove, these are the unknowns. We talk about, John, these schools that come off rugby union season. St. Brendan's already in the Aaron Payne Cup. The Dolphins Cup.
Well, we saw earlier that with Padua, it took a while for them to get into top gear, coming off a successful rugby union season as well. You see St. Brendan's again peppering, keeping the ball alive here. It's the last tackle here, the back rower, keeping a basketball pass into the corner here. The cover defence is coming from Ashgrove. Referee Kalpakis is going to stay in there, and he's going to award the try. A mountain of players underneath. I'm not sure who it was. I think it was the centre 3/4, the number 3. I could be wrong. But Ashgrove will, St. Brendan's will get their first points of the carnival.
Yeah, first points of the carnival, and just ones where they this morning just missed those opportunities towards the tail end. This is a young St. Brendan's team as well. There's about 5-year 12s in this team, John. So it's not a Brendan's team we see that has the usual experience. They have two of their most experienced players with injuries just before the carnival, including Jay Marsh. The Dolphins contracted Jay Marsh with a dislocated shoulder, has put him out of this carnival. So this is what happens with these. We know a lot of these teams have suffered injuries late. Marist Ashgrove lost Sean Green, who was in the merit team last year, and their captain. He injured himself at training last Tuesday. So these are the sort of things that the setbacks that get rolled into.
That's a handy nudge. Oh, too short. Oh, he gets it.
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah, so Sean Green, merit team in Year 11 last year, hasn't been able to get there this year because of injury. So, you prepare as best you can. You've got to deal with these setbacks.
So, and how did Ignatius Park go in their second game? Have they not played that yet?
No, haven't played that yet. Same time, I think, behind us is St. Pat's Mackay and Shalom behind us.
Football falls off the kicking tee. Just remembering the blockbuster coming up this afternoon with the host school, the Cathedral College. So we see Ashgrove kick off again, and from my understanding, they'll be the host school next year. Michael Crutcher, Ashgrove.
Head back to Brisbane. I think we're looking at confirming that soon. It's certainly in train, but no announcement yet. So we'll see the announcement once everything's finalised. There's a big carnivals now, 7 fields. Yeah. Currently this year, it's not something you can host with 3 or 4 fields now. It's no. 72 teams, and you need a lot of fields to get it going. But TCC is a host school doing a great job this year.
I had the life member Cole Hennessy commentating with me in the previous game, and I said it's grown a bit since you first started, Cole. He said a little bit. I think there's only eight teams. Kalpakis puts the arm in. It's the last tackle. So some Brendan's, all those players are offside as they come charging through, and it's taken nicely at the back there by the fullback. So they get into the kicks here. Completion rates are pretty good, but they still have a 6-0 lead here to some Brendans.
I think Scott Minto will be happy with that because there were more errors in the Brendans Iggy Park game this morning than each coach would have liked. There was a lot of drop ball. It was greasier then as Marist get a penalty to come into their own half. So you can't really afford to make that many errors in a 20-minute half and expect to come out on top. So that ball control will be important. And as we said, only 5 Year 12s in this St Brendan's team, and not one of those players in this current squad has got an NRL contract, which is, again, very unlike a Brendan's team. But from people who watch this team say don't worry about that. There's still a lot of spirit and a lot of skill in this team. And as we know, Cameron Munster, Harry Grant, a former St Brendan's player, played this carnival with no NRL contract. So just because you're not signed when you get to Confro doesn't mean you haven't got a very good year ahead of you, and that's why we're seeing the NRL scouts around today watching these games. Well,
that's a good thing, I think, to have players who, for scouts to look at, there's plenty available to be looked at. That's been touched by some Brendan's players, so that'll be play on. Brings them on side.
And it's not just Division 1 we look at either here. It's also Division 2 for the Dragons in the NRL at the moment. Lachlan King Toggy is playing the Dragons. He was a Div 2 player here at Confro, so there's plenty to be seen across the divisions.
So some Brendan's try score there earlier was picking up shortly. Ashgrove forced to defend Bagnall, one of the tacklers. So St Brendan's Marco Grant gets the offload, keeps it alive here for the 9 to 4-0. Half a break, turns it, then he's going to turn it back inside, keeping it alive. He gives it to his winger here, and Noah Wright. Kalpakis says, last tackle, 10 out from the try line. Is there a kick here? Cut out ball. 1-on-1 here, and the defence comes across. He tries to crawl over. It would have been a double movement, and it'll be a changeover.
Good defence from Ashgrove in the corner there too to stop that raid. That was some solid defence when Brendan's looked as though they might shift that and get a gap. But now Ashgrove with the hard yards coming out of their own half.
So how Gaswood does. Oh, that's dragged in the in-goal area, and that will be a line dropout. That's great defence from St Brendan's. Terrific work. So they'll have to do a short line dropout.
We've noticed today too in some of these games, it's been the referees have let those moves when the player's getting pushed back run out before being called held.
Jake Murphy, the player.
Yeah, whereas they do seem to be in NRL calling that a lot these days.
So long dropout here, something I've been calling for a long, long time. I've talked to John Buchanan about the short line dropouts and what happens. We've seen it at the NRL, we see it at Origin, we see it all over the park. And for mine, I think it's better to have it nice and deep. So here we go to some Brendan's ball in hand here. There's Ashgrove, Marist College Ashgrove to the right-hand side. Fullback is Oberhart. Gets the offload to the centre three-quarter and Winehart crawls his way, or was on his way towards about the 10-metre mark. Well, he ends up there anyway, but I thought he was going to get a little bit closer there, but the cover defence there from Marist College Ashgrove is strong. The back row goes from Maxwell. He gets within 5. Players coming from left, right and centre. Here they come to the left-hand side, St Brendan's. Got numbers, try lines coming, and he's going to go over and score and promote the footy, and Harry Robig will get the second try here for St Brendan's.
And that'll please Brendan's coach Scott Minto, because they were the players that just weren't coming off this morning in the first pool game against Iggy Park. They just were coming undone late in those sets, but that one was smoother. They shifted the ball and found that room on the left. So a pleasing start, I'd say, for Brendan's, but we know from Marist College Ashgrove They are a team with a lot of spirit, and under Dallas Williams, a lot of fight. So this might put Brendan's a couple of scores clear, but we know that Ashgrove can fight pretty hard.
Yeah. They haven't had a lot of footy either. Well,
No.
their first try was scored by AJ Gilbert in the 5th minute. It was converted by Noah Wright. He's going to have another crack here. And as I said to Cole Hennessy, this wind, the thing that's going to be favourable is it's going to dry all 7 grounds out. I don't think we'll get any more rain. I shouldn't say that. Kiss of death. Strikes that one pretty good. And that's going to be converted. So conversion's very, very important. 12-0.
Dry the grounds, they'd dry us out too up here, I think.
Exactly. Like my skin needs any more drying out.
I was travelling north thinking it'd be a bit of balmy winter weather, but it's not.
No.
But the next few days are sunny, and these fields have been superb. They're in great condition. Full credit to the TCC ground staff. Richie Pursehouse and his team have done a fabulous job.
Just remember, thanks also to University, Fogs, Struddies, NRL as well.
Yeah,
Help from
plenty
the
of
QRL as well.
great sponsors that make this carnival possible. It's not easy to put on, and the sponsors make it happen.
And you guys just aren't happy with the odd 55 or 60 teams, mate. You got to go to 72. Just to really give yourself more ulcers than Kalapakatis awards a penalty. But it's great rugby league, Michael Crutch. If somebody says, "Oh, you're going to Confro again?" I said, "Mate, I'll put it in the diary straight away because it's just a wonderful carnival." And somebody said, "Oh, how many games have to go?" I said, "Not enough. Give me some more because it's just." I had no idea how many games have been called, and because it's just been great rugby league, great spirit, and be perfectly honest, I know I don't want to talk too much about the politics, but confraternity is probably the saving grace for young men since the Colts competition has been cancelled by in the QRL. I think this is a wonderful carnival here to have those players get noticed and get them out playing footy.
Yeah, it's a great carnival, and you're right, with all those matches, 72 today, 72 tomorrow, and the number of incidents on the field, you can sort of count on one hand. There's just nothing. It's great spirit, this carnival, and it's a credit to all of the schools that come here and their young women and young men and the way they conduct themselves.
Correct. You see Liddy-coated dummy half. So Ashgrove getting into some Brendan's territory. That's a great one on driving legs there. We talk about Bob Linder going to be here in the next couple of days. That was a Linden-like tackle. He just drove with the legs, Trey Commons. Involved in the tackle again. Just your job's not done just as soon as you make contact. You keep driving with the legs, and that was a great defensive effort there from Brendan. So they'll get a penalty here with 6 more.
Yeah, and these are the opportunities when you're down 12-0. You've got to take advantage of these. There's some great field position here and good test for Marist Ashgrove. The Brendan's line held firm this morning against Iggy Park. But Ashgrove do have a bit of flair. They can score points.
Well, I think they really do need to get points before half-time for mine to take that confidence into the shed. So Ashgrove, they come again through here with Wood. Wood steps out of one, still going as Wood, close to the line there. Kalapakatis is right there. He'll get up and play it. Liddycoat from dummy half tries a burrow across. He gets a try there just before half-time. And the number 14, Cooper Liddycoat, puts some points on the board for Ashgrove.
Well, they're happy about it too, the Marist Ashgrove boys. They're the tries that coaches don't want, dummy half crosses right on half-time or close to half-time. But that's fabulous for Marist College Ashgrove. They'll get back into this game.
And you got to be aware of those dummy half runs here, because when we last called the game earlier this morning, we saw a try from dummy half where they dived at the feet. It's so hard to stop a player from doing that. But when you've got markers there right for your hooker, you've got a chance here. But that try that they scored earlier this morning is just to the right of the ruck. They're a little bit more harder, but you're right, the coaches won't be happy with that. Conversion is successful, 12 points to 6. Holy smokes, Michael Crutcher. We've got a game on our hands. You talk about coming back. Ashgrove, I don't care what the scoreboard is. They've done very, very well. Back of a penalty as well, gave them another set of 6.
That's a crucial part about this. As we said, the 20-minute halves, if you get 2 penalties in a row to get you downfield. You've got to try to make the most of it down there because it's just a gift chance. But there's no easy tries in Division 1 football in particular here at Confro. So if Ashgrove can try and work this set after the points and get down the other end of the field, I'm sure that'll keep Dallas Williams and his coaching staff very happy and set up a very good second half.
Well, the last thing Dallas Williams wants is for his boys to leak points. They just so hard to get just 2 minutes ago, so they want to run this one out, get to the kick, and certainly don't let St Brendan's get back over the line before Oranges. It's a good carry there. Looking for a quick play of the ball. It is a good quick play of the ball. They come to this broadcast side. Good shoulder there from Robig, the try scorer. Keeps going on with it as well. Rice, crossfield. Rice almost through there. I thought he got his nose in front, but Louis Maxwell has grabbed him. Gets some help over the top there from Jay Symes. This is taking way too long. Yeah, it wasn't Captain obvious to notice that was going to be awarded that penalty, and it goes against the 13 and Symes. And Ashgrove, well, 2 minutes to go, Michael, dare to dream.
Yeah, this is the discipline here that can be costly in Confro games. Mistakes and penalties, as we know, can hurt. Another chance here for Marist Ashgrove. Still 35 metres out, so they've got a bit of work to go yet.
There you go, forwards combined in the middle of the park. Your Wood. Ba'a. Fullback in Rice. Now, Ba'a, the number 10, has been involved as a second player. I'm not really sure what's going on there. Forwards in the back line. Brings a tear to my eye, I know that. As it steps off the left and the right, still going as Liddycoat, and Liddycoat almost got through there. He's already got one try, the last one. Still a couple of tackles to go here for Marist Ashgrove. Steps off the left. He's got a snapping step. It was Millard. And Millard, tackled by Jake Symes. Kalapakis says last try. Puts a grubber kick in as they've been played at. Is he offside? And he is offside. So that's a chance here. Do they take the 2 with 40 seconds to go, Michael Crutcher, or do they go for points?
They are going to take the instruction is for 2. They will take 2 and get out of this half only 4 points down after staring at a 12-0 deficit. To get out of this trailing by 4 is a very good effort from the Ashgrove players. And as we said, this will set up a good second half late on day one when teams do start to tire a bit too. This is Marist Ashgrove's first games of rugby league this year. All of a sudden, you're finding yourself in a fourth 20-minute stanza of the day against a team of the quality of St Brendan. So this is when you knuckle down and.
Yeah, I think it was a no-brainer to take the 2. Points for the premium Div 1, as you mentioned, 0-0 this morning with Iggy Park and St Brendan's. Smashes that one between the uprights. So we've got a 12-8 ball game here, Div 1. Here's Confraternity 2025. We're going to take a break here and listen to some of our major sponsors. Michael Crusher, John Devine here, Confraternity. Put my teeth back in 2025.
Of Farnworth, Herbie! Oh, what a shot! Bostock, Katoa, held beautifully! Oh, that is just brilliant! Kicking for Bostock! Yeah! What a try, Jack Bostock! The crowd wants him to take off. He does take off. Just sit back and enjoy this wonderful sight. Last tackle, the poking kick, and it's a try! Sam McIntyre poaches one. Robson's away. What a tackle! Oh, Purdue straight through and he scores! Purdue, another try for the youngster.
For more than 160 years, Brisbane Catholic Education has educated generations of families in our schools. Covering the city, coast and country, our 140 plus schools across southeast Queensland are united to deliver an innovative and holistic education, one that nurtures students' minds, hearts and spirits, all with the aim of forging a brighter future. Brisbane Catholic Education, an education to believe in.
After we started, didn't tell me at half time. So anyway, one stadium. Yes, sir. You good?
Comes up in 3, 2, 1.
Everything's ready to go. And we're just waiting on the old kicking tee. I was just saying, Michael Crutcher, that can we just have some sand out there, just in case the old kicking tee doesn't make an appearance? Good
Just
old
some
days.
old school sand.
Yeah.
That's not too much to ask.
Nah. So we're waiting for the Hooter. Now the Hooter Sands, all 7 grounds start at the same time. For those of you new to Confraternity, it's a well-oiled machine that the Queensland Independent Schools, Secondary Schools Carnival run.
Now, we do have some other results here, by the way. In this pool, Ignatius Park 30 defeated Aquinas 4. So that does add extra, I guess, tension to this game, because Iggy Park will go to bed tonight with 3 points, and at the moment Marist Ashgrove has 2 and St Brendan's has 1, Aquinas 0. So the top 2 teams from these 4 team pools goes through to tomorrow's Confraternity Shield quarterfinals.
Holy smoke, this guy's run all the way from Cairns. Big run back into the line. We'll get the number of that train in a second as we see Ashgrove 12-0 at one point, come back to 12-8. They had a penalty just before half-time to bring them back within 4. Offload, one-handed. Geez, that's a really good grab there from the 16 and Taree. Sorry, the Ewan Wood. He's been strong this 16 for Wood. Oh, there was a man lurking. There was an opportunity there for the big prop forward to get the offload. Almost got Beatson like hands out the back rower in Farrelly. Farrelly's a dummy half. It's not the last. They put it high in the air. The chase is coming through here as Cole. Nicely done in the end. It turns it nicely there. There's Noah Wright. Noah Wright goes back to almost where that kick was launched.
Yeah, it's a great return.
Yeah.
Puts St Brendan's on the front foot here for this set as they get to halfway almost. A good drive from Marist Ashgrove, giving back to St Brendan's what they received a few times in the first half.
Halfway line. Will Lloyd. Now the halfback finds the back row and Jake Murphy. Ashgrove defending now as they... It's a very good defensive set here from Marist Ashgrove. Tackle over the top there is Alova'a. Anderson puts it in the air. Takes it nicely there. There's Lyons inside the 10. I beg your pardon, no.
An escort penalty, I think.
Yeah.
So big chance here for St Brendan's.
And referee Kalapakis is Now, obviously, we're not stopping the clock because you can't, but he's going to have a word. I think there's been a bit of a chat here to the touch judge. Interesting.
Yeah, of course, each of these Division 1 matches has touch judges as well, the girls and boys comps. The touch judges come in and assist the referee, so it's at a high level. And we're going to have a player called out as St. Pat's Mackay score on the field behind us against Shalom in a tight game. Talking to both captains here at the moment, so maybe we'll escape potentially any player receiving 5 minutes in the sin bin. And it is 5 minutes, John. We always forget from year to year it's 5 minutes in a 40-minute match.
Penalty to St. Brendan's. Do they take two? So St. Brendan's, well, now they're going to go for maximum points. Shadows. Michael Crutcher have turned up at Confraternity for the first time this year.
I'm very pleased to see them.
Yeah, most certainly. So St. Brendan's on the fly here. Under ball, cross. Brock Otto going against the grain of the run of play here. They go long. Numbers out to the left-hand side. Doesn't need it. Crashes over this. Jake Murphy and St. Brendan's take some of those points back here. They had numbers out to the left-hand side. I think that's why Marist Ashgrove were a little bit standoffish, and that allowed the half a gap there for Jake Murphy, and he just mashes through and scores a great try from the back rower.
He ran a fantastic line there too, and the Marist defence had been pretty good. That unders ball, the defence was really up to the task there, but that one almost looked from behind a bit too like another former St. Brendan's player, and Kurt Mann there with the hair and the style from back.
Delicious.
So another former St. Brendan's Confro graduate now playing State of Origin.
Okay, let's go back. Let's talk about errors. We'll see this penalty against them, against Ashgrove. They've done all the hard work and they come up with a penalty and they paid the maximum price. This will go over. Here you go. Already kiss of death, Peter Elmore and myself with Padgett this morning. That's conversion successful. When their number 6 was right in front, we said this will go over no problem and sailed it off to the left.
I don't know if you get extra points for hitting one of the school buses behind the post as it drove down the street taking a team home, but if they do, you qualify for that. But we talk about these 40-minute games because we're used to watching 80-minute NRL games essentially. So when you get these penalties, in an attacking area, they just magnify given the shortness of the time. So again, Marist Ashgrove finds itself behind by 2 scores, so they'll have to work their way back into it. But plenty of time.
Definitely. It doesn't take long to get to the other end of the park. But the difference here is obviously the defence of the Div 1 side is far greater. You've got to work harder for your 4 points and your 6 points. You've got to try and get good field position, get to your kick, and then reset again. It's almost like foursome backs with 6 tackles on either side. So halfway line is crossed here by St. Brendan's. Try scorer. There, and Jake Murphy gets some treatment there. He gets up, grabs at his right shoulder, not feeling good. Everybody's pretty much inside, I would have thought here. That's pretty good kicking. That's an even better take. Beats the first tackle. Great stuff there from Liam Rice, but he's come up with I spoke too soon, but he took it nicely initially and then hit the ground and lost the footy, I think.
I wonder if his step was just so good there. He overbalanced because it was a lightning step.
Yeah, snapped it.
It was an ankle breaker, but maybe just overbalanced and unable to hold on as he came down. So that's, again, from the last 2 kicks, especially that set before that led to the try. Marist Ashgrove had done really well. They'd only let St. Brendan's make 20 metres between the first and last tackles and had the penalty against them on the kick. This time it's an error on the kick return, so we'll see what St. Brendan's can do.
Over hard. 20-metre line. They can really put this one to bed here, St. Brendan's. They can get across here, especially with a converted try here. There's Opportunity here for Winehart. Winehart, oh, lovely plant. He scored it in the corner there. That's a terrific try. Oh, I'm running out of grass. I think that might be the winger and Will Lloyd, the number 5.
That was a great plant. They'd scored some tries on the left. This time they head to the right of the uprights, and that was a high-quality placement of the ball because he looked like he would go out there, and as you know, it's hard to fend off when you're trying to get that ball to ground, but that was an outstanding plant, and this game's starting to get a little bit away from Marist Ashgrove, and it hasn't been an indication of the game. There's certainly been right into this match, but it's going to balloon out here to, it's 14, and we'll see how this kick goes. It won't be easy into this breeze.
And this is, we see it. He's obviously watched a lot of TV to score that. It seems to be the norm now, doesn't it, Crutch? So those one-handed plants in the corner every day of the week. Don't worry about the dummy half runs and scoring tries like that. You've got to put the one-handed part, do a double backflip over the top of the corner post and then plant the ball down. That's going to go out to the right.
And of course, one of the great exponents of that is a Confrat graduate, Xavier Coates.
Yep.
Played in 2018, made the Confrat merit team and made his NRL debut less than 12 months later. He was out there playing, and of course his brother came through, Philip, and made the Confrat merit team twice, Philip Coates. So the Coates family from Marymount College, Burleigh Waters. Xavier may be a modern-day pioneer, but yep, the young blokes are watching him.
It's just extraordinary how they score tries these days. So it's all to do for Ashgrove. They can't leak any more points. This is not rocket science, John, of course, but they certainly need to score in their next set of 6.
Well, we saw that Ashgrove try in the first half came off those penalties down towards that end. This time we've had tries coming off 2 kick-related turnovers. So it's right. Both teams making the most of some chances there.
Would be injured there. Now it's with Jackson Wyman. Wyman gets flipped over like I like my eggs. Halfway line's right here. Now they're behind. Kick comes through. Breeze is behind this one. Has a bit of a look. Challenge. That should be play on. And it is here. So Brendan's with a try. Goes over. He'll go all the way. Put the contest to bed here. And Reed Winehart will score for mine a match-winning try. We talk about, obviously you can't interfere with a player trying to catch it, but you can challenge for the football, and that's exactly what happened there, and they came up with a win.
Yeah, it's a straight challenge, and that's 3 tries that have been related to kicks. They've gone up and in 3 different ways. One a penalty, one a turnover, and this one just a straight contest that ricocheted St Brendan's way. So they've made the most of those kicks here in the second half, and they've got themselves out to a lead they'd be really happy with. In this, every Confro year we look at the pools when they come out and say, boy, this year's got the really tough pool here. Well, it's this one this year.
Yeah.
Ignatius Park College, the champions from last year, St Brendan's College, the champions from the year before, and Marist College Ashgrove, which is really starting to make its presence felt in Div 1 in recent years. So this was the one, and we'll go to bed tonight with one team on 3 and 2 teams on 3, I should say, and 1 on 2. So, and Marist Ashgrove can bring that back tomorrow because they play Ignatius Park tomorrow. So
when you told me that pool this morning, I was just going, hang on a second, well, how can this be? And it was just, that is a really, really tough pool.
Yeah, well, they're seated on last year's.
Correct, yeah.
So it's done in a very fair way. Everyone knows the rules, and that's how it came this year. So
yeah, who's to say if you draw it out of the hat wasn't the same thing? So
yeah,
but I agree, and that's important to play. It's not over this carnival on the last day because you've got to vie for a good position for next year. Showing the sideline there, and that's a couple of double don't argue. Still going the fullback in Kobe Overhart. That's a great return there from the number 1.
And whichever of these 3 teams misses out on the Shield playoffs, the consolation is pretty good because
not held.
It's the Bob Linder Trophy field when you go from teams 9 to 16 in Div 1 to play for a trophy that is really sought after.
Yeah, a great man will be here. Yeah,
so Marist Ashgrove has won that Bob Linder Trophy on multiple occasions, so they know it. It's a prestigious trophy, but they will want to be in the Shield playoffs if they can be.
So Ashgrove in familiar territory. Or they come away with a footy here. Under 8 minutes remaining. Ashgrove will probably be very keen to make me wrong. Is Liam Rice. Geez, the two number ones from both these sides are outstanding games so far from what I've seen. And Liam Rice, well, does a little bit of a roll around, get to the play the ball. 5 short of halfway. Watson, look at the size. Looking for an offload, rolls it out the back. That should be play on, and it is here. Kalapakis is correct. That one's a bit of tunnel ball here back from grade 1. A lot of people listening to this, they have no idea what tunnel ball is, Michael Crutcher. You probably don't even know.
I used to play it. I wouldn't have been as good to explain as you, though.
No, mate.
I played it without putting elbows in, John.
You played it fair. Oh, no, I'm an animal. Kick here, that's going to go over. Stay in the field of play, will it? Tries to bat it back in. Was he off the ground?
It's touched here. What will this ruling be?
I think this is going to be a...
He didn't play at that. No, it's going to be a straight turnover, a St. Brendan's ball.
My co-commentators and former board member Bradley Talon always spruiks about his blue ribbon for tunnel ball at Southport Primary. Back when they used medicine balls, probably. As long as you're playing to a Brock Otto. It's a carry. 6.5 minutes remaining. Thinks about passing. There's Wyman. Job to run it up hard and does that in the end. So they go to the blind side here. Throws a bit of a dummy to Anderson, and Anderson's going to be picked up, and they'll just let him down nice and gently. Held says Kalapakis. That's the 40-metre line. Dart from dummy half. And they're just playing a controlled and well-structured game, aren't they, St. Brendan's? They get to their kick, and anything can happen. They got once again 3 of them coming through, allowed to bounce here. That's going to come off of St. Brendan's player. I'm just going to try and find the player for Marist. He's been peppered. He's going to get the football now. Now, every time they've kicked him in, there's been 3 chases coming right at him like a wall. I feel for the guy. He'll get up and play it. He's going to hit one. I don't think it's Rice, but maybe I'm wrong.
No, he's been very brave there.
Yeah.
Those Brendan's players have been thundering through on him.
And there's always been 3 of them. It's just that six hooves. Dummy half run here from Lidico, the try scorer.
Well, that was a male on the Brendan's team. They don't have the big names they may have had in previous years, but they've got the same spirit and the same determination. You can see that in some of these parts today. They certainly have looked after the football a lot better in this match than they did this morning. There was like a cake of soap, that ball there at different times from both Brendan's and Ignatius Park. They've looked after it better today. They've got to their kicks, and those kicks have caused trouble for Marist Ashgrove, as sometimes kicks can do.
Super stepping here from Caden Hawari from Moppy Hoare. Hangs on to it. He overran a little bit, I think, did Maxwell. Unfortunately, therefore, Overhart, he had to take the carry. Fresh legs out here, and this is a good play here from the coaching staff as Marco Grant. Just got to remember that they have a long carnival ahead here. They have a commanding lead, a match-winning lead here, so I'm sure the brothers St. Brendan's coaching staff are going to manage their players and rest a few. Tough day, as you said, Michael Crutcher. 0-0 would have been a tackle-a-thon this morning. Very taxing.
It was a tackle-a-thon, and it was still, as those games can be, it was still very tense, and the finish was edge of your seat stuff. But
did they have a snap?
No,
goal
they didn't.
No, neither side.
No,
okay.
the word went out from the St. Brendan's coaching staff. A field goal will be very nice here, but it wasn't executed. And then Ignatius Park had the ball for about the last 30 seconds, but it ended in a 0-0 draw, which is probably a fitting result, and sets us up, as we say, for 3 of these teams being a chance tomorrow to progress. So that's we talk about Heartbreak Tuesday in the afternoon when Shield Dreams can go up in smoke, but we'll have a game tomorrow morning, which will be Ignatius Park College versus Marist Ashgrove, and one of those teams, which is both of them are good enough to be Shield contenders, one of them will miss out.
Halfway line is right there. Kalapakis puts his arm up for the last. 3 minutes remaining in this contest. St. Brendan's will take the win for this one. Been not challenged, allowed to bounce. Been picked up in the end here from the... It's not the last... sorry. was still the last. And St Brendan's will scramble. This is almost AFL stuff. He's going to be tackled in goal, so that will be a line dropout. And the footy wasn't being very nice to anybody right there.
No, Xavier Howard there too. He must have just been called out right at the end because it looked as though he was going to pounce on that ball and had to put the hands up just as he was about to get to it. And, Xavier Howard, one of the Howard family who's built a real presence in Marist Ashgrove. His brother was excellent last year at Confro, playing for Marist Ashgrove when they had some players who made the Confro merit team. Lachlan McCall, one of those. So Xavier, the son of Pat Howard, the former Wallaby.
There you go. That's right. So Ashgrove trying to get some points that may come down to points as well. Half-time score was 12-8. I don't think they're going to win this half either. Rice loses the football. St Brendan's come away with it through Robig. He gets the offload to the 15 in Hawari. He'll take the tackle not before going 8 metres inside St Brendan's territory, Ashgrove's territory. Falling over in the tackle, unfortunately, there is Robig. He'll get up and play it. Yeah, you can see that's Anderson. Just could tell they just want to run it down. Not interested in anything fancy. Just one out stuff again, just straightforward. Commons. Minute remaining. Again, one out. Just happy to get to the kick, Marco Grant. Good ploy here from St Brendan's. Nothing fancy. Try scorer. Goes without it, unfortunately, does Jack Murphy, and that's going to be a knock on. Sure, it wasn't play on, but nonetheless.
Inside the last 45 seconds now, so we'll see how this pans out. But Ashgrove, still a lot to take out of today. Their first league games of the year, as we said. They had a good win earlier in the day. They set themselves up tomorrow for at least a shot at the Shield quarterfinals. They'll do that against Ignatius Park College, but they knew that coming into it, that would be the task on day 2. So we're really set up well for an excellent morning tomorrow as we work out who's playing in what quarterfinals after lunch tomorrow.
We'll wrap this one up and quickly full time as we get set for the final game of the day with the host school, Cathedral College, coming up against Iona.
Big crowd this afternoon in too, lots of locals.
We're going with that. Hang on a second. That will be full time here. So 12-8 was half-time score, and St Brendan's go away with it. They came back late in the second half, did Ashgrove, but St Brendan's too strong in the second half. 26 points to 8 is a full-time score. Michael Crutcher will take a break here. Confraternity Day 1, one more game to go. Hope you can join us very, very soon.